What should I call you? The comeback kids? The comeback men? Is that appropriate?
I think I like kids more. Young Turks has been on from 2001.
Yeah.
I think it seems like all of us have grown up together again.
I land up in DPS, that's where me and Kunal met.
What keeps or has kept the two of you together?
We have some manufacturing defect in the two of us. When you're at the bottom of the abyss, you find the courage to continue. And I think that's where our partnership, our friendship, our relationship has been so crucial.
ABCD, astrology, Bollywood, cricket
discounts.
and discounts. So,
Good memory, Shereen.
And not
13 years later.
We have to unravel the enigma that is Rohit Bansal.
To us, our individual egos almost stopped mattering. And the only ego that we had in mind was a joint one.
We have lunch every day together.
The valuation being a certain number assumes that beauty needs to lie in the eyes of some beholder.
Else, yes.
The concept of Unicommerce, we just don't like at all.
But did you not like it when you were one?
Because we didn't know better.
Who all were part of the IIT Delhi cohort while you were there? Sachin and Binny?
In those couple of years, there's a lot of companies that came
Dipinder.
from Dipinder, Sachin,
Albinder.
Albinder. There is no word for retirement in Japanese.
I just want something to do, someone to love, and something to dream about.
Hello and welcome to Young Turks Reloaded. I'm Shereen Bhan. This show has been about first-generation entrepreneurs chasing their dreams. The two guests that I have with me on the program today first made their appearance on Young Turks way back in 2011. At that point in time, Snapdeal was being called one of the fastest growing e-commerce companies in India. At peak valuation, they were valued at $6.5 billion. And then 2017, things unraveled fast. Today, Snapdeal is in its second avatar trying to make a go in the world of e-commerce. But more importantly, they've repositioned themselves more as investors today with Titan Capital. Joining me now on Young Turks Reloaded are, what should I call you? The comeback kids? The comeback men? Is that appropriate?
I think I like kids more.
Kids more. No, the reason why I'm using that word is because it was in a LinkedIn post that you wrote, Kunal, where you said setbacks happen and so do comebacks. And I want to understand from you, how do you see comebacks? Because it also carries a certain expectation, a certain baggage along with it. Because the expectation is that you're going to have to deliver what you delivered when you first started off. But you're different. The company is different. You're different as people today. The environment is different. So, how do you see a comeback?
Firstly, always a pleasure being here and speaking with you, Shereen. I think it seems like all of us have grown up together at this point.
Old.
Right? And so there's something endearing about that as well. So it's a real pleasure. Look, at least from our standpoint, this is a journey that continues. When we first started, we never thought in 2007 that we would even get this far. And in any entrepreneur's journey, there'll be twists and turns. The question is...
And there have been many twists and turns in yours.
Many. And for sure there have been many. And there will be more in the future, I'm sure also. So we do anticipate there will be more twists and turns. However, I think every time we've figured out a way to get out of a tough situation, there will be times where you'll find yourself at the bottom of the abyss, right? And most people don't know what bottom of the abyss feels like. Bottom of the abyss feels like you have no answers, your well-wishers have no answers for you in that situation. You can't read anything. You can't listen to a podcast.
and work yourself out of an abyss.
Yeah. It is like the bottom of the abyss feels like there is no answer. The only answer is guilt.
Is that how you felt in 2017? To be specific, July 31st, 2017, at that crucial board meeting that took place?
I think there have been many moments where we felt like that. Not just one. Many, many moments through the years. In the early years as well, we felt like that on many occasions. But I think what matters is when you're at the bottom of the abyss, do you find the courage to continue, right? And can you muster that courage? And I think that's where it has been, our partnership, our friendship, our relationship has been so crucial to coming out of the abyss each time. And everyone expects, like you said, that you're going to come back in the same way. But actually, most comebacks happen in a different avatar, right?
Yeah.
When the phoenix rises again, it generally rises again in a different avatar. And that's what it has been for us.
You know, that's an interesting, many thoughts there rising from the ashes. But I think what I like about what you said on comebacks is just having the courage to continue. And I think that that's an appropriate way to actually look at the idea of coming back. But we have to unravel the enigma that is Rohit Bansal in Kunal's words. So, you guys go back 25 years, all the way back to DPS RK Puram. That's where this story really began.
Yeah, we were both 16.
Yeah. So what is it? I mean, of course you have work that keeps you together, but we've also seen stories where over time you grow, you change as individuals, and you don't necessarily have the same value systems. You don't necessarily see life the same way. What keeps or has kept the two of you together?
No, I think first of all, pleasure. Always a pleasure to be here. And I remember, I think the first time we met was many years
Yes,
back.
many years ago.
Seems like a different generation altogether.
It was a different generation.
But always a pleasure to be here. Look, I think between the two of us, I've seen that over a period of time, there's a very strong foundation of trust and mutual respect, which has only grown in one direction over a period of time. And look, because we work together, it doesn't mean we have the same views on everything, right? We work together, at least in the early days. I remember when we started working together, both of us had worked a year each separately.
Yes.
And actually, when we started working together, so we became co-founders, we started working together, and then we realized there are 10 things to be done. Neither of us knew who's
How
good
do you
at
allocate?
what. Forget how to allocate. But me and myself and Kunal didn't know who will be good at what. So actually, we started almost our professional journey started of learning ourselves what we are good at and not so good at.
Have you figured it out? Have you figured it out now? So who's good at what?
Well,
what do you?
the big secret.
what do you believe he's good at?
He's fantastic. He's a great visionary. He's very creative. He can look into the future, and I think the art and sort of will to never give up. I just, every single day I meet him, I think I can learn a lot more from him. So I've learned a tremendous amount through these years, and I know I will continue to learn, besides him being extremely good at food.
You changed to being non-vegetarian courtesy him, isn't it?
And by the way, still, if we go out to eat, I neither choose the restaurant, nor do I choose the menu.
So he does all the hard work.
He does everything. I just tell him we are going out to eat. He will choose the restaurant. He will know the menu by heart. He will know the off-menu dishes. He will order. We will enjoy food and we'll come back.
So but you called him nebulous and enigmatic. Now you have to explain that to us. What makes him a nebulous character?
No, because I think he's so secure in his being that, he doesn't feel the need to explain himself. He doesn't feel the need to get out there to, tell people how he's thinking.
Is very different about the two of you. You're the public face of Snapdeal.
Someone's got to do it, right?
So, now one skill which we are different.
and clearly one that he's better at.
No, that's not true. I think just because one of us does it doesn't mean that the other can't do it. Like he can.
No, of course he can do it. He actively chooses not to do it. Yeah.
But I don't think you will meet a person who is as obviously brilliant and sharp as Rohit, but also someone who is as just has the best heart ever, right? He's the nicest person, the purest heart ever, right? And I think all the points that Rohit said about the point he made about trust and mutual respect is really what has kept this going from strength to strength. And what I've seen, Shereen, is that many times what happens is that in relationships, if there is even a unnoticeable fissure, when crisis hits, it just breaks it apart.
Yeah.
And we've seen many crises together, and at least that hasn't happened. Through the years, you'll have people who'll try and come whisper things in our respective ears about the other person. People try all kinds of things.
Really?
And they almost assume that we don't talk. We have lunch every day together, every day. If we are in office, the two of us, we have lunch every day together, right? Now for, last 17 years, we are absolutely in sync. Actually, now when we are sitting in meetings, we don't have to even ask the other person for
Isharo.
Yeah,
It is beyond ishara. It is telepathy.
next level now.
Right?
No, but just maybe completing what Kunal said. I feel there came a point. I don't know when it came, but I think in our journey somewhere, where at least to us, our individual egos almost stopped mattering. And the only ego that we had in mind was a joint one as to what can we achieve together. And it doesn't matter whether it's my point of view, his point of view, do I look good, does he look good, it doesn't matter. I think there came a point where, look, if we'll win together, if we'll lose together. So, and as a result, not an iota of doubt ever comes in our minds as to when I'm sharing something with Kunal or when Kunal's sharing something with me, as to is there any other agenda. But we may have different points of view on what we think is right for both of us.
Yeah.
But it's never, okay, he has his agenda or I have my agenda. It's always a joint agenda.
But the key to that would be honest communication, right? I mean, the key to, say, as you said, people have tried to create fissures and friction, but I would imagine that the only reason it hasn't happened is because you've had an honest communication. But who's the one who is the first to kind of bring up an issue if there is one?
Either of us. I don't think we've been through so much together, Shereen, that honestly, if either of us is sensing that there is some part of some business that we are in or some investment we made where there is an issue, whoever notices it first brings it up. We talk through it. We make a plan, usually over lunch. All our planning is...
You pick and you decide.
No, but lunch we eat in our office cafeteria. But
we don't have gourmet food.
Not every day anyway.
No, but I think it's you're absolutely right. I think this constant, open, transparent, clear communication is the reason, and honestly, that transcends just our relationship. That is also why we have our colleagues who worked with us for so many years, right? Most of our colleagues that Rohit and I would work with have been around with us from 5, 7, 10, 12 years in some cases, through the thick and thin, because founders are often very good at communicating the good news, like the celebration, the euphoria.
Yes.
But what we've always done is communicated the bad news also as it's happening, along with the plan, along with our own insecurities about what we don't have a plan for. And at that moment, it may be a tough communication to do, but we've seen over a period of time that's also built trust with the team, that when things are going tough for us, we all come together and solve it, which is why we've endured, right? We were talking about that Young Turks has been on from 2001.
Yeah.
Not many companies have endured for 17 years, despite the twists and turns, and reincarnated themselves over and over again.